This is Linda West with Living Live, and today I'm really honored and blessed to introduce to you the Commander Celeste Gleave. Now, she was selected by the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the Pentagon to wait, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Hold on. Okay, she was selected by the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the Pentagon and MAGCOM Warner Robins to serve as a civic leader to the USAFR and the civilian community. She's working directly aside the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and she has become the honorary 3-star general. Commander. Oh my gosh. I just totally ruined that whole thing, Celeste.
It's an honorary 3-star general, and they just call me Commander. So it all works.
But you know what? The bottom line is she's a freaking superwoman, and we're going to talk today about superwomen. I know that you watching here, you are a superwoman, or if you're a superman, that you know a lot of superwomen. So I want you to share this out with whoever it is that you know that is a superwoman, and I know there's lots of them out there. Either tag them in the comments below or share this video out, because we want to share this mission, the Superwoman Campaign. And so she has an event coming up this week. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how she started this. She has so many things going on. We're not possibly going to be able to attack all of this today, so I'll bring her back when we're going to talk about the veterans and how she's helping homeless veterans, because we have this synergy. I have the Giving Angels, and then she has her nonprofit who is helping homeless veterans. So we're going to talk about that at a later time. But today, Celeste, we're specifically going to talk about being a superwoman. What does it mean to be a superwoman? How did you start this campaign? What are you guys doing? And what can we do to help get the word out? So welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey, okay. I'm excited. I'm stoked. And yes, indeed, we will be in Southern California this next week. We are hosting a wonderful Equality and Empowerment Summit at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. And I want to tell you a little bit about the Superwoman Campaign before I talk to you about the event itself. We just a little history on myself. You mentioned the Pentagon, and you mentioned all of the work I was doing with the Air Force. Well, after leaving the Pentagon, the one thing it did do was give me an extreme level of empowerment to know that not only was I vetted into a position that was so well respected, but more so, it empowered me to realize that, hey, I can do this. They believed in me. And I worked with them for such a wonderful time. And my job going in was be larger than life, do what you have to do to change the perception. And we have a tremendous suicide rate. And with that being said, they brought me back several times to the various air bases on the East Coast. And the 4-stars that I was working with would just behind closed doors. They're like, Commander Gleave, we know that you're the right woman for the job. And we feel completely happy to have you here. Go out and be larger than life. And that was it. I'm there. I'm going. And I can be pretty large. And I think I was a little maybe after, going, hey, let's do radio shows and let's do television programs on families deploying and let's do this and this and this. They just started saying, wow, she's a little ahead of us. So they started giving me
larger than we. Wait. Well, tone it down a little, right?
Yeah, tone it down a lot, because I was like, hey, we got a lot to do, right? We can help.
That's right.
Right. There's a lot
to tackle it with fervor. I mean, come on. It's you told me to be larger than life. Don't tell me to tone it down, because I ain't gonna.
Well, and their communications department called me and started at 4:00 in the morning stating, ma'am, let's stick to talking points only. So you will be using our words, but we're going to be using your voice. And I went, I'm not a script follower. I don't want to say puppet, because that sounds kind of rude, but
the bottom line, you're not a puppet.
I'm not. It goes down to we've worked hard and we know what we need to do, and we can't do it with protocol strangling us, because it is protocol. So I conveniently bowed out of the work I was doing with the Air Force and decided, hey, it just popped into my mind. I've been empowered enough that I could maybe start my own army. And so I got out and I decided to start a nonprofit called Sheroes, which is for the women heroes, Heroes United, which was educating. And we had 3 strong pillars. And one of them was our women warriors, first responders. And then 2 very, very current and powerful pillars are domestic violence and human trafficking. So we have concentrated on those 3. Now, you're asking how we got involved with I Am a Superwoman. As a nonprofit, a woman that is like at the top of her game, Sue Melky Branding. She came from Australia, was living in Los Angeles, and she gave me a holler and said, I love what you're doing. I have this idea, and it is an empowerment, and it is a equality summit, and then we'll follow it up with a gala. And so many things fell into place. And I won't concentrate so much on the gala today. It'll be later in the year, but I do want to talk about the summit that's coming up this next Friday, the 24th. It's an all-day event. It starts at the Beverly Hilton. Registration starts at approximately 7:30, 7:45. The only, there will be, I will send you some information, but we have the most incredible lineup of speakers confirmed for this summit. Give you just a quick rundown. We have India Kinney Stearns. She's the former Vice President of Business and Programming at the Oprah Winfrey Network. She's coming, and she's been named executive with over 15 years in entertainment television experience, and she's been named as one of the top female executives in Hollywood. Parisa Khosravi, is the Senior Vice President for the International News Gathering, National Media for CNN for 30 years. And this woman went out into the trenches. She went out and put her life on the line as a journalist for 30 years. And she's covered everything from earthquakes and tsunamis and wars. And this woman has got it on. She's coming to talk. One that we're really excited about is former federal judge Bruce Einhorn. He spent his entire adult life advancing the cause of human rights, both here and abroad. He's been a special prosecutor in litigation for the U.S. Department of Justice, of special investigations. He's been assigned an identity to prosecute the fugitive Nazi war criminals found in the U.S., and he's tagged as being the one person that has put together the largest campaign against Nazi war criminals. He's also extremely involved in anti-Semitism, Sinti, Slavs, political dissents, LGBT individuals, Jehovah's Witness. He's just an all-around wonderful man, and he is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. He is a California guy. He teaches he adjunct teaches at Pepperdine, and he is probably one of the kindest gentlemen on the earth, and he has done so much for women in domestic violence and human trafficking. One of his big achievements is he took over 50 women from other foreign countries and brought them into the United States and gave them political asylum, gave them a new life, and helped them start what would be a new life outside of trafficking. So this man is a saint in many of our eyes. He's bringing a beautiful, beautiful woman that he actually helped out of this, and she's going to tell a story that's going to be profound. We're extraordinarily excited about Tamara Wright. She's coming from Australia. She is a psychic to the stars, but more so than that, she's been working with domestic violence, human trafficking, and women warriors, and she's taking her abilities and her gifts, and she's actually helping people get out of post-traumatic stress disorder, military sexual trauma. She's working with the police department to help find missing persons. The woman is a genius. So, and then we have some tremendous amount of panels, and we are just really excited at the caliber of event we're bringing. We we'll start out the day giving awards, and we'll have some singers in there from American Idol. We will have at the end of the day, we're going to be sending some, getting a real great. My dear friend Alfie has been singing for a bazillion years, and I don't want to say that she's that old, but Alfie, that you may know her as Alfie Durio, but she. She's
billion.
Yeah, she's beautiful and young, but she was, as I understand it, and don't quote me, but she did backup for Whitney Houston and several other singers, and she's been in Korea doing this for many years. And she is going to stand in her power and do a Whitney medley at the end of the event to kind of preempt our next event, which is the gala, which we have Whitney Houston's piano, and we're going to be auctioning it off, and the proceeds go to human trafficking and domestic violence. So we are very amped to be able to have this, and to our first inaugural event to be in Beverly Hills at the Beverly Hilton. And I've got to tell you, these people have been rallying to help us, and people around the country. We've got people coming as far as Australia. We've got them from the East Coast, West Coast. And what we want to do is make sure that your listeners understand that if they're to come, and it's a short notice, so I'm going to do this just for you.
Okay.
If your listeners are listening and they feel that they could gather from a full day of absolute empowerment and equality, and I'll hit on just a little bit about that in a minute, I'm prepared to offer them a 50% discount. That would be a special Commander discount at the door. They just say Commander, use the word Commander and Linda Sunshine West, and that will give them a 50% off. That the tickets are $222 general admission. That would be $111 unless they want to eat lunch. And then if they wanted to eat and I'm not saying that the lunch is $100 at anywhere. We're having a VIP lunch with the speakers and the panelists so that your listeners can get in there and talk to them and really get a feel for who these powerful people are. So we have limited seating there, and we're hoping to get that place. Just, we want everybody to have an enjoyable time. Those people that don't buy lunch, there is a Subway sandwich right there. There's a couple other places, but I do want the people to know that in the morning we will have tea and coffee and donuts and everything to keep them happy. And then there will be lunch, and then in the afternoon there will be more food. But there's going to be music, there's going to be panelists, there's going to be everything that you can imagine. But we're talking to many sponsors, and they're saying this is the summit of the year so far. And I'll tell you the reason why they're saying that, because on the heels of the hashtag Me Too and the hashtag Time's Up, we are very big supporters of the hashtag Me Too, and especially when we have been 6-8 years trying to get people to use their voice and to, it's like cancer. If you have something that you're hiding inside of you, like, say, for example, you were raped, God forbid, or you've gone through something and you've held it in your entire life because you're ashamed, and that's typically what happens. It doesn't get better until you reveal and then start addressing it. And so I've kind of coined the term, in order to heal, you must reveal. And I think that's really important, to reveal the stories, because we want the women's stories to empower other women so that the women know that they're not alone. And this is vitally important because we're finding that so many women just don't dare speak up. And with the Me Too, they spoke up. Yay. What's happened now, and I'm going to be very careful how I say this. The Me Too was brilliant, and we were begging people to do this and supporting it in every direction. Time's Up came, and it was an answer to a miracle. But what ended up happening is that Time's Up started getting abused just a little because women were seeing a possible way to go, hey, now that they're giving money, I'm going to go after so-and-so for this. And now I've heard the word witch hunt used by men. We feel like it's a witch hunt, but I don't necessarily like that. But there is definitely a gender war starting to separation in gender, so to speak, because the men, what we're talking to them on the streets, and they're saying, we no longer dare to hire women. We no longer dare to, we don't know what we've done. And with all of the Me Too, it's the women are talking and the men are listening going, oh my gosh, I did that. And I wonder if I'm going to get busted. And so what we're trying to do is bring forward the positive fact that redemption and taking accountability for what you've done and what you feel guilty about, and then standing up and saying, you know what, I did that, I feel guilty, I was wrong, and I'm ready to make a change in my life. So we're using the words recalibrate, adjust our mentality, and go in there. And our hashtag is now it's up to me, because we were being asked over and over. Time's Up is here. It was kind of last year. And then there was the, hashtag was last year. Time's Up came following. And everybody's going, what's next? What's next? Well, it needs to be up to us to make what's next. So we did the hashtag, now it's up to me, because we feel that every single person has something to say about what's happened to either them, a family member, or a loved one. And it is a bigger, and that too, darling, is an actual number 2, hashtag now it's up to me. Thank you. Just to make sure. And it can also do hashtag I am a superwoman. One of the things that we've also been doing, I wanted to get in here if I could get it real fast, is we've been doing kind of it was like the ALS challenge, the ice bucket challenge, but we've been doing a Bill of Rights challenge, where we've challenged every woman and man and child to say, I have the right to my own opinion. I have the right not to be sold. And they do 8 or 10 of them, and they say, these are my basic Bill of Rights that I live by. Now that you know my Bill of Rights, I challenge you. And so we're working on people to embrace their own Bill of Rights, because women don't realize they have those rights until they put them on paper, and then they get empowered. And then
can I share with you my Bill of Rights?
Yes, please.
Which I never thought of it that way. So thanks for sharing that concept with me. But I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, I said, I have stricken the word obligation from my vocabulary, because I was finding that I was doing so many things, almost everything, out of obligation for others, instead of doing it because I truly, truly, honestly wanted to. And I discovered that once I struck that word from my vocabulary, that my life started to change a lot, because now I would say yes to the things I actually wanted to do, and I would say no to the things I actually didn't want to do. And it really changed a lot, because it just put me in the driver's seat, right? Or it put me in the position of power over myself. Like, yes, of allowing myself to say, I don't want to, and I'm not going to, or yes, I'm so excited, I can't wait to get in there, and then dive in there with like full force, because I honestly, this is the thing I want to do.
Awesome. And you know what I've seen? The minute the women, and I see a few on here, Lucia Garcia, Foot, and Donna Segura. I mean, oh man. And we have so many more. I wish I could just spell out their names, but I do want to do a quick shout out, if I could, to
yes, of course.
Tara, Brandy, Donna again, friends of Barbara Niven, all of our volunteers, Melky Branding, and our producers, and everybody that's been involved. One of the things that we do plan on doing as a nonprofit, and at the end of this, we are coming to Los Angeles. We are coming to Beverly Hills. We want to invite a certain segment of your community, say X amount from your domestic violence shelters and home and communities, the military communities. We've invited the active duty and veteran communities. We're also inviting women from different shelters that have come out and are victorious, and they have a voice and they want to be empowered. This is perfect timing right now, because we all know things are going a little tiny array, and we just want to be a glimmer of hope and a soft landing place for people to come and realize this is a non-denominational, nonpartisan place to just come and be empowered to attend an event that is by far one of our very, very finest lineups that we've had in a long time. And I also want to make sure that your listeners, because you're taking the time to talk with us, get something better, a little bonus there, because those are your influencers. And we do need those influencers, because they follow you, and you obviously checked us out and know what we're doing. So if your listeners would like to come, we would honor having them in the audience. And I do want to say, I don't know if I said this prior, but and maybe I did, about the only thing that there's two different types of tickets. There's the general admission for 50% off, and then we have the VIP seating. And I will also make a deal on anybody that asks me about VIP seating, and what that entails is a full lunch with the panelists and the speakers and the VIPs. And so they would literally get the red carpet experience and the VIP lunch. And again, that price is, I think it's $359, and I would be more than happy to give you 50% on that, just to cover the cost of the food at the Beverly Hilton. As you know, it is a little more expensive because of the location.
Just a little.
Just a little. But I'll tell you,
you're being kind.
You know what? I got to say this: the people that we've been working with at the Beverly Hilton, and the sponsors that are stepping in, they see the need for what's going on. This is vital. Our society right now is not doing so well, and there is a little bit of fear, and there's a little bit of anxiousness, and we want to make sure that we put it out there and we continue with these events. And we've got, and I know that you had, and I talked about the military, but I wanted to show you this too. It's a cute little thing that we're doing. It's called the Superwoman Passport to Your Future.
Oh, I love that.
Passport, but you put your own personal Bill of Rights. Where's that thing camera? Oh, up here.
I do the same thing. Even though I've done so many videos, I still do the same things. Like, where's my camera?
But we're doing, we're handing these out. We're saying, this you can carry, and then you reflect back on it. And you know what? If somebody tells you go, I have the right not to deal with this. And it's empowering. I've seen it. We have hundreds of women that have done these videos, and they're all going, it's working. I feel empowered. And I stood up to this, and I stood up to that. So beautiful, And
I want to change the name of it, though. Because, Bill is a male's name. So
what would you call it?
Bill of Rights. I don't know, but the Barbara of Rights. I don't know.
We do have our MC, and our host is Barbara. She'd love
there
that.
We go. Well, I did notice that at the event, and when I first was looking at it, so we have, let me see, I'm going to pull this up. You can see what I'm showing on the screen, correct?
I can.
Okay, so we have Bruce Einhorn there. A lot of people know who that is, or Einhorn, and a lot of people know who that is. But it was funny. I saw there was like, there's our token male.
You know what though? We have, and this is so crazy. We thought that we did, but we ended up with almost as many men as it was 49% male wanting to help the women. Is that not the greatest thing? Is that not it?
Is.
It's like women.
Yeah.
in this generation of the newer generation, and we're trying to take it down to the even right down to the basics of the children. We've got this campaign going. It's cool to be kind, and the children are the ones that we're literally trying to mimic, because these children are pure when they're brought into this world, and they learn the ugly things from their surroundings and from their environment. And so we want to, when we recalibrate, we want to recalibrate, in a way that we take it back to the children and listen to their voices. And just as a side note, we are putting together all kinds of educational resources for children, domestic violence survivors. We've done quite a bit in human trafficking. We are doing programs with the Women Warriors, and I'd love to talk to you about what you're doing, because collaboration is huge. And we all realize where we're at, that nobody can do it alone. And those people that think they can do it alone, more power to them. But we need to reach out into our communities, and we need to grab everybody and say, look, let's work together. And again, the word unity comes forward, because the bottom line is that right now it's not so unified. Right now, people are kind of bouncing around and about, and it's a little, it's never been a better time to be a woman, and it's never been a worse time to be a woman. And it's the same with the man in their own way, because now they're seeing what could possibly happen. And what we want to do, our core values, is to get women and men to work together to fix what's broken in our society. And that has to happen from inside the house. And that has to happen in our educational system. And it has to happen day to day in how we interact with people. And again, one of my core philosophies is, please, knowing me and knowing who I am, and my founding an organization that dares to change the world through love, please don't try and even bring bullying into that. Don't say negative things, because guess what? That's not who we are. We are committed to making people see that it's so much more peaceful and loving. And also too, it seems reminiscent of the movements that you've seen in the past, but this is not a kick down the door feminist movement. This is a movement that involves men, women, and children, and everything in between. We are open to all people of all nationalities, all religions, and the only thing that we're asking is to keep your political opinions and keep your religious opinions to yourself, as you open your heart and your mind to what these tremendous speakers are saying, and we have an equal balance of both sides of the parties. We've tried to do that very equally balanced, so that no one feels left out, and we have done everything we can to get a very good representation from each community.
And that actually is a kind of an interesting dichotomy, right? Because on one hand, we're saying voice yourself, but on the other hand, we're saying, but voice yourself kindly. And would that kind of be accurate? Because we don't want bullying. So there's a point of voicing yourself where you're harmful and you can hurt others. Where there's another point of voicing yourself in a kind way, in a progressive way, in a way that's going to change the world in a positive way, and voicing yourself. So I think keep your opinions to yourself. When it's more like my dogs, they like to share their opinion at any given opportunity, like right now, right? So,
yeah, dogs have every right.
They don't worry about what people do.
No, but yes, opinions are great, but you'll never see me giving my opinion. Not unless somebody asks, and then I'm very careful and cautious as to even then. I just don't, Yeah, but that's another story. But if we sat and listened to everybody's opinions, nobody would agree again. So, or maybe they would. But then
you get anything done.
get the people citing again, well, this is my opinion and this is my opinion. We just want people to come in with an open heart and an open mind and be prepared to listen and be prepared to see the outstanding and amazing work and equality and empowerment these people have done. I mean, good Lord, years and years and years of experience out here that we're bringing. And we have the complete support of our very own Attorney General. And in where we started our nonprofit, Heroes United, we also have the support of all of our law enforcement officials, our organizations, nonprofit organizations that are doing the same thing. And again, thank you for putting share up there because
Yes,
until we, and again, I have not been to every event in the planet, but what I can see, what's been happening is a lot of people are doing events to raise awareness. And what we're going to do is we're taking action. So with this event, we're proving to the people that, yes, this is our first year. And yes, we ended up going to the Beverly Hilton because we wanted to show that we mean business, and we're going to take this whole campaign. This is not just a one and done at the Beverly Hilton. This will be going on each year, several times a year. In fact, if I could be so bold, we have people from the United Kingdom and some very, very, very high-ranking people at the United Kingdom, and I can't say names at this point, that have agreed to come and agreed to make appearances. And we know that when that happens, everything is, this has already become global. We're getting responses when the people are doing their I have the right. We've had several come out of Africa, Australia, they're coming out of Canada. And it's so cool because it's every human being's rights, but it's really the declaration of sentiments or what our human rights here that we've done in the United States. But this is global. Everybody wants to spout out their own Bill of Rights, and they deserve to. They have the right to. So it's gonna be
there we go. I'm back. Okay.
Did you?
My audio lost, so I'm back. Okay, well, we are a little bit over time, but what I wanted to share with everybody is, again, go to superwomancampaign.org. Go check it out. Now, if you show up at the Beverly Hills Hilton on the day of the event, you get a 50% discount. That's by mentioning the Commander as well as Linda Sunshine West. You get 50% off. And so that'll make it $111. Really quick, again, Celeste, where the money is going, because I know this is a fundraiser. Where's the money going?
Thank you. We are a certain amount of money will be going to an organization called From the Heart in Los Angeles. We wanted to make sure that we had money from this event and local money going to local charities. So From the Heart helps domestic violence, and they also do facial reconstruction, and they help Safe Passage. I messed that up. Safe Passage. And then From the Heart is our fiscal sponsor. But Safe Passage is a wonderful 501c3. They will be receiving some of the funds, but the beneficiary of this event is Heroes United, and the money will go to developing more human trafficking programs for inside the hotels, for the hotel staff to know what to look for. There are similar hotels that have been started this but haven't gotten quite what they need. So we're going to be developing programs within the human trafficking, safe houses. We're gonna be working with domestic violence. We're going to be teaming. We're going to get therapy sessions, but we also have a lot of education courses. We have our own very own Becoming a Shero from the Inside Out. We've taken that to to Rome, Italy, and we taught many women from the Congo that were refugees. We taught this training to them, and they came out of there. The president of the Democratic Republic of Congo contacted us and said, "Our country is at war. Rape is the weapon, and women are the target." And the bottom line to this is they're having 64,000 rapes a day in the Congo. And we went over to the Vatican and to Rome and met with some very high-ranking clergy, parliament members, officials. And so we have done that. We have been to Africa to do the same thing. Outside the United States, the Himalayas, we've done humanitarian missions. But this money is staying in the United States, working on programs for domestic violence, human trafficking, and our women warriors, making sure that they have everything that they need.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody could have said it better than Barb, but just, oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, there it is. It's the Barb of Rights. Oh. We're going to change the name, cross out Bill and put Barb.
Oh, there you go.
I want to thank you so much for being here. Superwomancampaign.org. You guys check it out. Please check it out. What amazing work they're doing. Even if you're not able to attend in person, if you're able to make a donation, check it out over there. You go volunteer, just find out what their needs are and how you can participate. You might not be in Beverly Hills, so maybe you're in a different part of the country or a different part of the world, but there are ways that you can help. So just get out there, go to the superwomancampaign.org. And I want to thank you so much. If you are a superwoman, which I know you are, go hashtag I am a superwoman in the comments below. I just love to see you guys type in I am a superwoman, hashtag I am a superwoman.
If you go on our superwomancampaign.org and sign up, then you're going to catch what we're doing. It's going to just go wee after this.
Go check it out, you guys. Go check it out. And so I'm not sure if I'll be able to be there next Friday. I'm going to look at my schedule and see, because I believe we're spending family time with my daughter that day. Because it's 24th. That's my dad's birthday. Yeah, so that's the day I'm going to be at my daughter's house. But I will definitely be checking it out and see what I can do to help. And then we will talk again later, where we'll talk about both of us and the veterans and helping veterans get off the streets.
I would love that because much to do about our veterans. Right?
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you guys so much for attending. And Patty, thank you much for being here. And Donna and Barb and we got Lucia. You guys, thanks again for attending. I really appreciate it. Share this video out. We want to get the word out as to how we can help all these women. And you guys, you are a superwoman. So have a great day. This is Linda West with Living Live with Celeste Gleave. It was really an honor and a pleasure to speak with you today. Thank you so much, everybody. Please share the video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.